I'm Mary Boehme from Married Art Studios, and I am recording The Bliss of Art, and I thank you so much for joining me. We are painting Watermelon Truck today, and I'm so excited because it is another one of my Morocco pictures. Go, go, Morocco, go, go, Morocco. Anyways, I'm so glad you're here. So as you can see, I have already prepped my board. This is a canvas, actually, and I gessoed it. Now, if you don't have gesso, simply use household paint. Make sure it's unleaded though, but you can use household paint. You might want to thin it down some with some water or whatever thinner is used for that particular paint. And then this canvas, it's recycled. Did I tell you? We should use recycling because there's lots of bumps on here. I'm sorry that you can't see them because I can't bring you to the camera, to the canvas, but I can bring the picture to you that I'm going to paint. Anyways, there's lots of little bumps there, and it's going to give the watermelons some diversity. And here's our picture that we're painting from. Lots and lots of watermelons. Makes me hungry and ready for summer. So I've got a light blue foundation, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave some of the blue to show through because I think I like the blue that's kind of wedged in between the watermelons. So, shall we get started? Yes, yay! But first, let me blow my nose. Honk, honk, honk. Oh, all right, I sound like a duck, I know. I'm a ducky person. All right, so grab my big old brush because what I want to do is I want to get the blue. I'm going to go with the dark colors, so I'm not going to grab this brush. Just like a woman changing her mind all the time. I'm going to do the dark areas first, and the dark areas, of course, I've already mixed up my paints using my primary colors, red, yellow, and blue, and a little tiny bit of black. And it does take a while to mix these colors, and as I've always indicated, you should mix them up in very small amounts. I got to move this over here. There goes my lights. That's okay. I'm a one-person, one-woman crew. All right, so I'm going to go in with the darkest areas first because that helps me to find where the other tones are nearby. It's easier to paint that way. All right, so the darkest area is this man's arm right here because the sun's coming in this way, and so we're going to put his arm in right about here, doing cylinder-shaped motions, adding a little bit of grayish color because it's getting away from the sun. All right, already made a little boo-boo. That's all right. And then the next place I want to go, the darkest area, there's like a light, a reflector, what is that called? Reflector on the truck. This is an old truck, as you can tell, it's kind of beat up. And I'm going to put like a little V here because this area is really dark. I want to go even darker. And remember, we're just not into perfection in art because once you start thinking you need to have everything perfect, that's when you really start making the mistakes. So I say, oh, I don't need perfection. Then there's another dark area that's right in here. There's a giant watermelon right there, and then it goes really dark because there's no sun that's coming in here, so I'm going to put that right in there. I'm hoping to finish this picture because I'm going to start teaching you, maybe you'll teach me, how to paint right onto a canvas from a projector. Oh, it's so easy. I am very excited about it. I'm just like a kid. I'm not kidding. And you're going to love it too because why are you going to love this? You're going to love it because this is really going to save you some time and some energy, some paints. How is it going to save you paints? Well, usually it's going to save me paints. I don't know about you, but what happens is I try to paint a picture ahead of time. And so when I do my first picture, I do it usually in an acrylics. So that way I'm not wasting all my good oils. I am using water-soluble oils. I wish I could share them with you. They are so wonderful to work with. All right. And then I'm going to go up here. There's another dark area. There's kind of like at the top of the truck, there's some netting. And I'm not going to get that dark area in right this moment because I don't want to. All right. I want to go a little bit lighter on the darkness. Does that make sense? Lighter on the darkness? I'm going to lighten up those dark areas. Yes, sometimes I say things that I'm not even sure what I'm saying. It's old age. That's what I blame it on. Okay. But I'm not that old, you say? Well, I am, really. Getting some of these shadows in the watermelons. And, oh my gosh, these look so luscious. I could just eat one right this minute. I only had a watermelon. And there's a dark area that's kind of underneath. There's a truck. Well, of course it's a truck. There's a wheel, and then underneath the wheel, that stops there, and then there's a shadow that comes in right about here. And I'm going to make that shadow pretty dark. I hope I've got it in the right spot. All right. In fact, I think I don't. I think I need to come down even further. Okay. And guess what? I will fix my boo-boos when you're not watching. And don't forget, all my pictures are for sale on my website. They're not on there yet, but they will be eventually. Right now, I'm just trying to get things going. All right, I realized I forgot my white paper towel. It's right over here, so I'm just going to grab behind me. And the reason I say have white paper towel handy is because you like all these little paper towel tidbits. It's because you want to put before you put things sometimes on the canvas, you'll want to put it on some white just to see, is that color too light, too dark? Is it just right? Kind of like the Three Little Bears. Yes, I know, stupid, but what can I say? All right, so then I'm going to go next with the light colors because I want to do some light. And there's a lot of light, bright white in this area. And do I want that brush? No, let me get another one. Don't you love artists who just talk to themselves? What do you think I say when you're not around? That'd be pretty interesting. I'm doing titanium white. I've got your primary colors. Usually I use ultramarine blue, and I do a medium yellow, and then I always do like a crimson red or even a medium cad red. Holding my arm against my body to brace myself, to give myself some leverage so I can get in those little spots. All right, and then there's a little bit of white that comes in here. This is a netting area, and this is kind of a darker area. So I'm going to just bring a line down there to say, okay, there's where it ends, there's where it begins. Wet my brush, get that white off. And now I want to do the white blue. White blue? Well, it is a white blue. What's white blue? Light blue. All right. And I'm going to end up covering up some of my markings because, as usual, I've already put the outline using my Inspire projector. No, I don't work for Inspire. I wish I did. I'd probably be making buku money. All right, so let's go with a light blue in these areas. There's a lot of light blue in here, in this corner. And I don't even have to use all this light blue because guess what? I got light blue on the canvas already. All right, now these trucks in Morocco are, like I said, very old. You know, they usually add a whole bunch of different things onto their trucks. Sometimes they'll add a whole new bed. And believe me, I would not want to lie in that bed because you would certainly fall out. And then there's like a light blue coming down here. So I'm going to come down here because the light is over here, so that's where the blue is going to be some of the brightest colors. So in that case, I need to add a little bit more of this other blue that I mixed up. And then that stops, that comes to about here, and so I'm just going to go in this area, bring some of that color, not a lot because this is hidden, you know, so we're not going to say, yeah, we need that color in there. We don't need that color. All right, then I'm going to do like a white stripe just to give me some guidance, because I'm going to be covering that up in a very, very short time. And then there's more of this lighter color over here. And you can just cover up this whole thing. In art, we layer colors. That's what art is all about, layering colors. Oops, I got some brown in there. That's okay. No mistakes, no mistakes. We are not perfect people. We don't make mistakes in painting, not at all. All right, then I want to bring some of that color in down here. And then even lighten it up even more, because when I get over here, I'm not too concerned about, you know, do I have the right color in there? I'm hoping and praying I do. And I do believe I do. And like I said, since the background, and I just wet my brush because I want really thin colors in here. Putting my lines in there. Giving myself some sort of locator. Is that the right word? I can't get the words out today. I need to stop talking and paint more, right? You're saying right? Yes. Okay, now I'm going to go with a little bit of, it almost goes into a purple color in the body of the truck. And so I'm just going to put a purple color here. This would be it almost looks gray. I don't like that, it's too gray. All right, now I like this. Yes, it's more blue. Well, what makes purple? Blue and red. Purple, remember your color chart. And then that comes down to right about here. All right. And then I want some more of that deep color coming down in this area. This is darker. Add a little bit of water, just a tinge. Now this is kind of goes at an angle because we want that to go at an angle to give it a curve feel to it. If you don't curve it, if you don't curve things and just really get that color in there and move it around in circular motions, you can see the direction of your brush strokes, and that's so important in art. All right, now I'm going to go a little darker here since I've got that dark color. And of course, you know, we're not perfect, right? Right. Then I'm going to outline this a little bit more here. And then this just kind of comes, let's see, comes there. And then there's some darkness coming in here, some shadows. And then that gets lighter since I have blue on there. I'm going to make this even a little bit lighter shade of that color. And I can see that it's great. I have such texture on this canvas that when I'm making these strokes, I say, that is exactly the way that truck looked, really bumpy. So do yourself a favor, reuse those canvases, because you do not need to buy canvases, especially right now. Or paint on cardboard, that's even better. Okay, so let me go back into my painting and stop talking so much. All right, where do I want to go now? Right in here. Gonna get some darker colors to blend into those beautiful and give it a sideways swerve to go into that beautiful color, that beautiful blue. I love that color. And there's a big old light, tail light, huge. I didn't realize how big that tail light was until just now. All right, so now I'm gonna add, I want that gray that I tried to get in earlier, and I'm just gonna go across here with this big old fat brush and get a gray stroke in there because there's, I don't know, panels or something on there. And then I want to sort of blend these colors in. Make it a little bit lighter there. And then this is a light color right in here. Wiggling my brush. All right, good job. Now there's a nice, his arm is right here, and this is the shadow to his arm actually. So I'm going to go in and cover that up with some gray. Adding a little bit of black to my color that's on my brush already. And putting the shadow of his arm, which is going right here, and it's curving because an arm is curvy. All right. I like this gray, and I'm going to add some of that gray. I do believe I'm going to add some in here. And this part here is still his arm. This is his shirt. Actually, I told you that was his arm, but this is actually his arm. That's just a shadow of the arm. Okay, and then that's his hand, so I don't want to go in there with that color. It's way too dark. And the light, I want to do a light, really pretty blue. And this brush is kind of big for that, but I'm going to, guess what? I'm going to swirl that brush around. I'm going to make it work for me. And as usual, I saved some of this light blue paint so I could do touch-ups because I'm not perfect and I make lots of mistakes, really. I love painting in my art room where, you know, my paints are, and I can sit down and paint and just relax, turn up the music. I'm a rocker, an old rocker. You know, I love rock and roll music. I probably have told you that before. Okay, and there are some dark areas, a darker gray over here. So while I have some of those grays in there on this brush, I'm just going to put those colors in, and they're right about here. That's like another sideboard. Ooh, I almost dipped that in my tea. Not good. I have done that before, believe me. And these are some more of these boards, and so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go around the watermelons for now because I don't want gray watermelons. Those watermelons are gorgeous. So I'm just going to put some stripes, and since this is going to be a gallery, I'm going to bring those stripes along the side, and I'm going to bring that gray color along the side. And that's really, when this is posted on the wall, it's not Facebook. When this is on the wall hanging, then the eye will go around the canvas. And because you don't just look at the front, you go around the sides and you go on the top, and sometimes you go underneath. So prepare for that, you know, in your canvases. I want that a little bit lighter because it's getting away from the sun. And coming around on this side, bringing some more of that gray in. Not worrying about getting those boards right because I don't care. All right, now that I have this here, I need to set this down for a second and take a little break. No, I'm just kidding. So I'm gonna get this out, my yardstick, my little ruler, and just put it on here and put those lines in real quickly. So I need a really sharp edge. So what you do is you get it as sharp as you can, just like a razor. And these lines are going to be big here. further apart. And then they start getting closer together. They start tilting a little more. And they start to fade out. And then these lines here, yep, they're still going. I think I'm going the wrong way. I am. Okay. I'm going to fix that later. All right. Closer, 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 lighter, 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 closer, 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 lighter, lighter, lighter. And then they're going to just kind of bleed out. All right. Bring that color down, join those together. And then while the paint is just slightly damp, I want to take my brush that is my mover brush. It just has no paint on it. It's a dry brush. And you just take it and you try to start blending while that paint is still slightly damp. And you push in those edges, push the light colors into the dark. And what it also does is it softens the edges. It blends your colors together. I'm holding this brush like it's my best friend. Well, guess what? That brush is my best friend. And this is my second best friend right here. I know you have some good friends like that too, don't you? All right. Just blending, blending, blending. Blending, blending, blending. Blending, blending, because I can. And because we want to. We want those light colors and those dark colors in there. And we want them to blend in with everything else. And then I'm going to blend this in down here because it's starting to dry and I don't want it to dry that fast. I'm making this circular shape, pushing that paint in that's still slightly damp. And then I'll fix that a little bit later. This brush has had it. So I'm going to throw it away. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, I'm going to grab another one because this brush is not that good. But I'm going to have to clean it. So I'm going to set it right there out of your way where you can't see it, but I'm not going to forget it. Okay, now let's go into the watermelons. That's what everybody wants. Yay, watermelons. Well, this is an easy way to do watermelons. I'm going to layer the watermelons, and I hope that you'll layer your watermelons. Just don't put them on top of each other because they will roll off. Ha ha. I'm so silly, I know. That's what teaching does. It makes you a silly, silly person. Okay, so the best thing to do in the watermelons is your lighter color first. I need to prep this brush, dipping in the water, getting my almost lemon yellow paint. It's actually a medium yellow with cad yellow mixed together. I need it just a little bit thinner. And so I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do this watermelon first. Lime green, yes, it is lime green. And I want that paint on there really dark. I mean, not dark, heavy, yes. Okay, and then we got watermelons over here. This is actually some netting that comes out of the truck. And the watermelon might come over the truck a little bit. I need to thin this paint out. It's way too thick. So I'm just spraying some of that, this right here, the thinner, artisan thinner. It makes it a little thinner and it makes it move easier on the canvas. You don't have to buy it. You could use water. It works just as well. All right, then I'm going to put some of there in here. I can still see my lines really well, which I like. These watermelons look so bright and colorful, And the man who had this truck, you know, I could tell he was probably watching me slightly saying, what is that woman doing, taking my picture? Because I always start off with a picture in my art and make sure that picture is nice and clear, of course. You want a very, very clear picture, so you can have a clear painting. Now, why am I painting all these the same color when they're all different colors? Well, there's a trick to it. You don't want to make yourself work too hard, so you just do one coat after another, one layer after another, and that makes it so much easier when you're painting. Here's another one right there. Lots of texture in there because I don't know what I covered up. I don't even remember, but whatever it was, it had lots of texture in it. And so I'm just really glad that I had some paintings that I hated, because I looked at it and I said, what was I thinking? It is not a good painting whatsoever. Now, you don't have to cover up all these spots. Almost sounded like I said Aldi. Aldi is one of our grocery stores here, and I love that store. I said all of these. My words were kind of running together. I need to reach over here and grab some more yellow. I realized I didn't have enough, and that's why I keep my paints nice and handy. Squeeze. I have so many oil paints downstairs. I said I wanted to buy some more paints, and I said, what am I thinking? I already have all those oil paints, and I haven't used oil paints in a long time because they take forever to dry, but they are marvelous. Okay, now I need to wet this down a little bit and get one of my, push some of this paint in, a paint pusher again. Here I am painting and pushing paint, and then I'm going to add a little bit of white and light, a little tiny bit of the green. I'm going to tilt this, not too much because it's starting to drip. And this is like cream, butter, beautiful, beautiful colors. Go back in, and now it's going to be easier to work with. All right, then I'm going to do some of that. Oop, I went way too over. Wow, that's going to be like a lopsided watermelon. If you hear some thunder, it is thundering here in St. Louis, Missouri right now. Getting ready to rain. Keeping the shape of the watermelons. Coming over to the side, going around the side, because that watermelon is nice and plump. Things happen. I got another one right here. Will somebody grab that? Oh, I forgot. Nobody's here but me. All right. Keeping the shape of the circular shape and trying to move it along a little faster, because these should paint up very quickly. This one is going to go around this way, and you're not going to see too much of that edge, so I'm not going to bother about it. I'm not going to spend the time right now, your valuable time, because you want me to finish this painting. Well, guess what? I want me to finish this painting too. All right. And I'm hoping that I'm not going to have to get any more of this lime green, yellow, purple. What color is that? Oh, I don't know. I bet you can really see some good colors in there. All right, I'm running out of this color again, and I don't want any more, because this is just the base. It's a base coat is what it is, and it's going to be some highlights. All right, and you see that I left spaces in between here that can shine through, and then I will put some shadows in there, because those are certainly shadows. There's grass coming along the edge, and I got that watermelon. Oh, good. I thought I was going to miss it. All right. Now I'm going to go with like a limey green. And I'm going to start putting that on the top. And remember, you want to keep that shape of the watermelon like here. Make the eye, move it around. And then I'm going to come over here, and there's some of that beautiful mustard green coming down this way. And I'm going to bring it half circles. And this has got some mustard green right in here. Or is this olive green? I think it's probably olive green. It just looks mustard green to me because I'm so close to it. Okay, then there's some right here. Making the eye, bring that around to give the curvature of the watermelons, and then right in here, this. Then this one's got like it looks like a snow cone. Remember, you're looking for shapes, wiggling your brush. And this one has, all right, I already did that one, and let's do this one. Wiggle that brush. You can wiggle all over. You don't have to just wiggle your brush, you can wiggle your butt. All right. Bring some of those colors in, and I'll do that with that dry brush. Okay, now where do I want to go with this color here? I think that color is just, I need some of that in here. All right, and I need some of that going this direction. Circular, going there, perfect. And then if that's going to do that, this is going to do that. And if that's going to do that, nope, I'm just kidding. This one's going to go up that way. And this one has some dark, really dark green in here. And then this one, what am I going to do with that one? Oh, this one is just beautiful right here. All right, I'm going to make this one more beautiful. Can you believe that? All right. So, what do I want to do next? Well, don't you know, you say? Well, I do know. I want to start adding some of this darker green and to this big old fat brush, and then I'm going to kind of go along the edges, because if that one's going to be on that edge, this one's going to be over here, and then this one's going to be on this edge too. So if it's on one side, it's going to likely be on the other side. Same thing here. Lots of good texture in there, and swirling my brush, making it turn into a point, like a ballpoint pen. And this has got some of this really dark color, like right here. And it goes, I'm going to curve it in, make that go around, and this go in, and this one is going to go, that one's taken care of. And this one here is the one I love. I'm just going to put lots and lots of color in there. All right, then I want some of that dark green up here. And if it's going to be there, it's going to be likely here. And look at how the shape of that watermelon. Then if it's here, then it's going to be likely here. And same thing here. Making it go around. I want some down here. And I want, that's a dark, dark color. And this has some dark green right in here. Okay. And what about this one? Did I forget this one? Yes. Well, I didn't forget it now. I need more paint. Okay. What do you think? I think I'm getting there. Layers, layers, layers of color. Layers and layers and layers of color. That's what you want. All right. Now I want to put some highlights in because I love highlights, and I already got this brush that has white on it. So I'm going to make some really pretty highlights up here at the top, like in this watermelon. It's sort of like the tip of it, and I even left that paint real thick there. And then this one has some on this side. And this one has a really hot spot. And I dulled my paint down because I dipped it in a little bit of green. So I'm going to go back in and get some white because I want a nice, beautiful spot right there. Awesome! Then I want a spot right here. Twirl in my brush. I want a spot up here. Trying to get those circular and half circle areas. This one here has got some areas right in here. Oh yeah. And this one coming down. And this one's got some. I'm going to add a little tiny bit of yellow. Twirl in my brush, adding some more white because I can't hardly see that color because there's so much texture there. And then this comes down like here, and then it comes over this way. Then there's a big bright white spot on my favorite watermelon right here. I'm going to put a little white spot right here even though I don't see it there. Maybe it's like a half-eaten spot. Alright, do I have enough white? No, I need to add some more. More, you say? More. Alright, shaping up. Just like me, shaping up doing those exercises. Okay, this might be a two-day job because I still have lots of detail up here. So I'm not getting ready to stop yet, but I am getting ready to start winding down. So I need that round brush. Where are you? I need to get another one. Oh no, that means I gotta clean another brush. All right. I need some white areas, and it almost looks like a tan at the bottom of the truck. It's not going to be as white as the top. And where is that watermelon? It's the first. Here's a watermelon, and here's one, and here's one. It's the third watermelon, and it's between the second. Here's the first, second, and it's right above here. I'm covering up my letters. Oh no. I'll have to use my projector to cover them up again, to put them in again, I mean, because the thing I hate the most in painting, I mean, there's very few things I hate in painting, but I hate doing letters. And they are so much work. And I just don't have good penmanship. Being an English teacher, you would think an English teacher would have lots and lots of good handwriting, but I am the worst when it comes to writing. Oh, I see that brush I dropped. All right. So what do I want to do? I want to add, I've got lots of, there's a white spot right in here. Since I've got this tan here, I can still use this tan right there. More white. All right, texture. Ooh, yes. Put some of that in here. Round that out. There's some at the top. There's some at the bottom. There's some on that side. There's some on this side. There's some down here. Right in here. I'm just going to tap on top of that because I don't want to lose that shape to that watermelon. Then it has some of this almost a bluish green, and guess what? I did not make up a bluish green, but guess what? I have the ability. Blue right here, and then add some of this green here, and I came up with a bluish green very, very fast. I don't need a lot of that, but I do want to add it into my colors because you want, when you're mixing colors, you always have a little tiny bit of all three of your primary colors in every single color that you create. Why? Well, the simple reason is it makes it uniform. It brings those colors. The eye won't see the colors right away, but they will eventually. And so do that. That is an important thing for an artist to do. Little touches. I'm not saying you're not going to change that color completely, but you are going to have some of those primary colors in every single color. Woo! Something new. Yes, that's a little secret. Don't tell anyone, okay? All right. Back to work. Stop talking so much. All right. I said green, and I started to go over to the brown. Beautiful color. All right. This one here's got some of that color here along the edge. Look at that thick old color on there. Then I'm going to kind of give it some brush strokes like that. Oh yeah, perfect. And then I want to add like making it go out. Oh yeah, 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 yeah. All right, then I want to do this one here. This one doesn't have too much of this color in here. I'm just going to add some of that color right there, because that's probably where the little stem is. Okay, go back in. I got some white on this brush. I'm going to try not to use it. All right, then this has got some of this really deep cut purple. Oh, yes, I know. Maybe I need to stop painting. I'm just going to put some of that darker color on top of here. And I want some more of this darker color over here on this watermelon, bringing it down. Remember, this is going to be curving in this way. And this one, my favorite one, I'm going to add a little more darkness in there. Just tapping that color in. Tap, 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 and giving that a little more shape. And then I want to start going into the brown. Brown and green, yep, that looks really good together. Some of that brown in here. Not too much. That is actually way too heavy for me. I want that color, but I don't want it that thick. Add some of that in here. Add some over in this direction. I'm going to go in sideways. Just slightly. I like that brown a little bit more yellowy. So let me grab some of my yellow. Oh, that's not the color I want. Okay. I want a prettier brown. Right. And then I'm going to add this in here. Make it swerve. Make it come down. Bring that side in. Bring that in there. And then here, what am I going to do? I got the white and I need some brown, just a little bit. And then in this one here, I'm going to add, kind of going around this way. This one, my favorite one, I want to add some more of that in there too. This one, go down, making it work. This one too, making it work. Work that brush, make that brush work for you. Push it. Tell it needs to do its job. And that's a really funky shaped watermelon. Watermelons aren't perfect. Then I'm going to add some of this brown in here. Bring it around the back and the side. I like that. Some here. A little more brown. And this is going to be putting in some of that details. But in order to get the details in more, I need a smaller brush. Voila, there's one right there. It's got a nice small brush, but it's got a nice pointy tip. So I can do some detail with it and add some more white on one side, brown on the other, and then start adding a little detail in here to make these watermelons work. Make that watermelon work. This one doesn't have a lot of color in it. I must have forgotten about this one. Alright, just got to put some of that color in like this. And then I'm going to put a line going this way because that's the shape of that watermelon. Then I'm going to do this one. And then I like outlining. I don't know why. It gives me a reference. Gotta find out where that little stem ends. Right here, right about there, and right about here. Twisted, Twisted Sisters. I don't even know anything about that song. Don't quote me on that. I don't know Twisted Sisters. My sister's not twisted. She's not like me. All right. I need to add yellow. Don't you think? Just straight yellow? And of course, I need to grab some more yellow. I'm out of your sight, pardon me. I just want some real bright yellow. I don't need a lot because I am going to be stopping shortly and using these same colors tomorrow. Okay, give me some nice highlights. This watermelon here. Let me start at the top and work down. Right about here. Nice highlight and a nice highlight going here. And this one has a nice highlight going on top of that white. Alright, and then I can add some stringy lines going down, pushing it in, and this one to that right about there is where there's a highlight. This is about right there where it needs to be. This one here, I just didn't like this one for some reason. It's going to go this way because here is that spot where all that other stuff is coming out and swirling around. Then there's that one. So if that one's there, that one's pretty close to it. So I'm going to put it right here. And then that goes back. Just get it to a sharp point and then bring it back because this is how the watermelon is starting to look. And then it comes down here, just like that. And same thing here, my favorite one. Okay, gotta do something nice to it. I like it. This one here, there's that big fat one. I don't like the shape of that. I'm going to have to fix that later. I don't like it. Okay. All right. Now I get my little break. I work so hard, I deserve a break, just like you do. So you're allowed to take a break too. Okay. So we got a really good start on our watermelon truck from Morocco. Ay, 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 Morocco. And the stories in Morocco are incredible. I was there for 6 weeks with my daughter, and we had the best time. And they speak French there, and I can't speak a lick of French. It's a good thing that we had translators. iPad, yay! And so going around in the countryside was just an experience alone. You know, seeing these mountain of watermelons and wondering, how do they keep them from falling off the truck? You know, I guess this little rope here that's hanging down, which you can't see from the picture, must save those watermelons. It's like save the dolphins, save the watermelons. We want those watermelons in the middle of summertime. They're delicious. So some of the things in Morocco that I've spoken about before is, you know, that you'd go into a wonderful, beautiful place, and then they'd have just a single light bulb hanging with no covering whatsoever. It was a funky kind of thing, and the people there were so friendly. They would go out of their way to do anything for you. I had a man who was driving me around during the day because I didn't know his language, you know, and so I couldn't speak the Arabic or the French, you know, or the German. So I was lost, and I was so thankful that I did have a translator there, and it's a great experience. Some paint tips I need to give you is mix little bitty amounts of paint when you're mixing colors, because if you have too much, then you might have to throw it away. No, don't ever throw that away. You mix it all together and you make a nice black. Oh my gosh, look at that. I got yellow all over my good shirt. Okay, and so mix little bitty small amounts of color. Use anything for a measuring stick. You can use your paintbrush for a measuring stick. When you're measuring something, you put your arm straight out. Don't bend it. Don't get lazy. Straight out, and then you can get a good measurement of a line. Use your walls. When you're projecting, use your wall, because you know your walls are straight. So follow those straight lines. Paint gallery style. Don't worry about your painting, you know. Who cares if it's not a masterpiece? But maybe someday you hope to sell your painting like I do, because I do have a website called Mary to Art, not married, Mary, M-A-R-Y, T-O, not the number, ART.com. And you'll see lots and lots of my photographs. You'll see my paintings. You'll see all kinds of work that I've been doing forever. I'm a photographer, an artist, a teacher. So I combined all those three things together, created the bliss of art. Yay, you say. And it's free. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 1 p.m. Central Time. Please do join me. And don't believe the lies that Satan tells you that you can't be successful, because you can. You can be successful. You can be courageous. You can be trustworthy. And you can be my friend. Please go into my website, marriedtoart.com. I already said that. I'm not going to repeat it again. And do watch Mary Boehme. Go to YouTube. Under the search bar, type in Mary Boehme, M-A-R-Y, space B-O-E-H-M-E. Yay! That's me, old lady Boehme. Name, same, and old dame. Yep. I'm not that old, am I? No. So, I do thank you very much for joining me today. This is part 1 of Watermelon Truck. Part 2 coming up. Don't miss it. Tell your friends. I'm also going to be doing lilies, which is a picture I took at the Botanical Gardens. And I love the picture. It's like the lilies were screaming, "Take my picture!" And of course I took their picture. And now I'm going to put it on the canvas. This one's going to be a big canvas though. So you need your big brushes for that. Paint along with me. Find whatever you don't have. Borrow it. Don't steal it. I said borrow. All right. So the last thing I want to do is wipe my hands, because I'm going to be going to my my music. And while I'm going to the music, I want you to grab your brushes and do the happy brush dance with me to celebrate Watermelon Truck. Out of your sight for 1 second. I'll be right back. Can you see me? I hope not. Grab your brushes. Here I am. Lean on your brothers right now, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles. You know, find that person who's going to help you, who's going to listen to you, and who understands you. Because we all need those people in our lives. Trust God, because God is the most important being and creator of the heavens and the earth. And thank you again so much for joining me. Bye now, and God bless.